All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into the world of Jean-Marie Dang,
Okay.
NCMAG grad, class of 2005.
Wow. Yeah.
And we've got some excerpts from a recent interview with him, so
Looking forward to it.
get ready for a wild ride because this guy, his career path is anything but typical.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was looking over his background, and it's really quite fascinating.
Yeah.
From computer science at NCMAG to running a dental software company. And now he's focusing on psychometrics and human potential.
Right. Like
That's quite a journey.
how did he even get there?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I know.
And one of the things I found really interesting, he talked about learning the Ada programming language way back when.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not exactly
Not a mainstream language.
any mainstream thing.
No, not at all.
Especially outside of aerospace,
Yeah.
But he said understanding that logic, helped him adapt to any other language later on.
That's fascinating because it really speaks to how a strong foundation in one area, in this case a very technical, very rigorous type of programming, can actually be applied to understanding other complex systems.
Right, like even human behavior.
Exactly.
Which kind of brings us to his current work with psychometrics.
Okay.
Specifically, the DISC method. Are you familiar with DISC?
Yeah, I've come across.
It's basically like understanding personality types and how people interact.
Right, right.
And he even mentioned this French startup, Human Linker, that's using AI
Oh, wow.
to analyze LinkedIn posts and predict someone's DISC profile.
Now, that's where things get really interesting.
Right.
Because imagine the possibilities.
I know. It's kind of mind-blowing.
You could have teams working more effectively.
Yeah.
Individuals understanding their strengths better.
Right.
Maybe even personalized learning paths based on someone's DISC profile.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible, but it's also a little,
A little unnerving.
Yeah, a little bit like AI reading our personalities from LinkedIn.
It sounds like science fiction almost.
Yeah.
But it's becoming a reality.
Yeah.
But it's important to note here, from what I understand, Dang really emphasizes using psychometrics.
Okay.
And specifically this AI technology to improve communication and well-being.
Okay.
It's not about...
So not just pigeonholing people.
Exactly. It's not about categorizing people
Right.
or just using this information for commercial gain.
Okay.
And in fact, he mentioned working with student associations
Yeah.
to explore how these tools can help with things like student stress and career choices.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, so instead of fearing this technology,
Yeah.
maybe we should be thinking about how it can help us understand ourselves better.
Right. And understand each other.
And each other.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like having a new lens to view human interaction.
Yeah. And, you think about it, we're already leaving these digital footprints everywhere we go.
That's true.
So what if we could use that data, responsibly, of course,
Yeah.
to actually help people thrive?
I think that seems to be Dang's vision.
Yeah, it's a powerful concept.
It is.
And it really kind of points to this larger trend that we're seeing,
Okay.
which is this convergence of technology, psychology, and personal development.
Absolutely. We're seeing more and more tools and techniques that are leveraging data and algorithms to understand and to optimize human behavior.
Right. And that's great, but it also kind of leads to some questions, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Big questions.
Like, how do we make sure that these tools are being used ethically
Right.
and for the benefit of individuals?
For good, not for bad.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's dive into some of those ethical considerations and how Dang is approaching them, shall we?
Let's do it. It's a really complex topic.
Yeah.
But I think what's so interesting here is that Dang,
Right.
he comes from this very technical background, but he's deeply invested in using technology for good.
For human well-being.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes his perspective so unique.
Right.
He really understands, I think, both the power
Yeah.
and the potential downsides, the pitfalls of AI.
The dark side.
Yeah, the dark side.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's really advocating for this human-centered approach to development and deployment.
Right, and I think the work he's doing with students is a great example of that.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
These students, they're growing up in a world where AI is just, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's ubiquitous.
Right, and it's only going to become more so.
Exactly.
As they get older.
Yeah.
It's shaping their education,
Right.
their social interaction,
It's a relationship.
even their career choices.
Yeah, so it's crucial, I think, to help them, to give them the tools
Yeah.
to navigate this landscape.
Right.
And, He's exploring how psychometrics can help students,
No way.
understand their strengths,
Mm-hmm.
manage stress,
Okay.
and make good decisions about their future.
Right. It's almost like giving them a compass,
Yeah, because
to navigate this world that's just becoming increasingly complex and uncertain.
more and more complex. Yeah.
And imagine, like, if we could actually personalize learning based on, someone's DISC profile.
Oh, that would be revolutionary.
Yeah.
It would completely change education.
Yeah, we can move away from this one-size-fits-all approach,
That's
right?
like
And really empower students to
Yeah.
learn in a way that actually works for them.
that resonates with them.
Yes, exactly.
Meets them where they are.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not just about education, right?
No, not at all.
I mean, think about the workplace.
Right.
What if we could use these tools to help people find careers that are actually aligned with their
strengths.
strengths and interests?
Their natural talents.
Right. I mean, that could lead to,
For greater job satisfaction.
greater job satisfaction, productivity,
Productivity, engagement.
general well-being.
Yeah. People would be happier.
Yeah.
They'd be more productive.
Yeah.
They'd be more fulfilled.
Right. Imagine a world where, people are actually excited to go to work
I know.
because they feel like they're doing something that they're good at and that they enjoy.
What they're meant to do.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a pretty inspiring vision, I think.
It is inspiring.
But let's be realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, there are always downsides to consider, right?
Of course. We have to be realistic.
Yeah.
We can't just ignore those.
We can't, just get caught up in all the hype.
Right.
We have to be mindful of the potential for misuse.
Absolutely.
So how do we, for example, protect people's privacy?
That's a big one.
Right. How do we ensure that these algorithms aren't biased?
Yeah. Right. Because algorithms are created by humans.
Right.
And humans have biases.
Exactly.
So those biases can creep into the algorithms.
Yeah, these are crucial questions.
Absolutely.
And I think, we need to be having these conversations.
We do, yeah, as a society.
As a society, yeah.
We need to be talking about this.
We can't just blindly trust the algorithms.
Right.
We need to be actively involved
Yeah.
in shaping, the development and deployment
Absolutely. We need to be shaping the technology.
of these technologies, yeah.
Not letting the technology shape us.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that they're aligned with our values.
With our values, yeah.
And used for the benefit
Of humanity.
humanity, yeah.
Yeah.
Not just, for profit or control.
Not just to make a quick buck.
Right, exactly.
Or to manipulate people.
Yeah, and this is where I think the human element really comes in, right? We
Absolutely.
need people like Dang
Yeah.
who are thinking critically about these issues.
Who are asking the tough questions.
Yes,
Yeah.
and who are advocating for this human-centered approach.
It's about finding that balance
Yeah,
between the power of technology
yeah,
and the importance of human values.
right. It's about finding that balance between embracing innovation,
Yes.
but also being aware
Of the risks.
of the potential risks.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's not just about experts and developers, right?
No, it's about everyone.
It's about everyone being informed
Everyone being engaged.
and engaged.
Yeah.
It's about having these open discussions,
Open discussions.
asking tough questions,
Asking the tough questions.
and demanding transparency
Transparency, accountability.
in the companies that are developing and deploying these technologies.
Absolutely. We need to know what's going on.
Right. We need to know what's going on, and we need to have a say
We need to have a say.
in how these technologies are being used.
Exactly. We need to be in the driver's seat.
Yeah. And I think, it's like anything else. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
The more we understand about these technologies,
By how they work
the better equipped we'll be
to make good decisions.
to make informed decisions about how we want to interact with them.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's where I think education comes in, right?
Absolutely.
We need to be equipping people
Yeah.
with the skills
With the skills, with the knowledge.
and the knowledge to navigate this complex technological landscape.
It's not just about teaching people how to code.
Right.
It's about teaching people how to think.
Right.
How to think critically.
How to evaluate information.
How to evaluate information.
How to discern fact from fiction.
Right. It's about fostering digital literacy.
Yes.
And critical thinking skills.
Absolutely.
We need to be able to question the algorithms,
Yes.
challenge their assumptions,
Right.
hold them accountable.
Yeah, we can't just be passive recipients of technology.
Right.
We need to be active participants
active participants
in shaping its development
and its impact on our lives.
and its impact on our lives, yeah.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings us back to Dang's point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is that this world where AI knows us, it's not the future.
It's not the future, no.
It's the present.
It's already happening.
Yeah.
It's here.
It's a sobering thought.
It is a sobering thought.
You know, we're already leaving these digital footprints everywhere we go.
Everywhere.
And those footprints are being analyzed.
Analyzed, yeah.
And interpreted by these increasingly sophisticated algorithms.
It's creating this new kind of intimacy.
Yeah.
This digital intimacy.
Yeah. Where machines are privy to our thoughts.
To our thoughts.
Our emotions, our desires.
Our desires. Yeah. And that raises a whole host of ethical questions.
Absolutely.
About privacy, autonomy, and control.
Right.
For example,
Yeah.
who owns our data?
Right.
How do we protect our privacy?
Yeah.
In a world where everything is being tracked and monitored.
Yeah, these are questions that we'll continue to explore as we move into the final part of our deep dive into Jean-Marie Deng's work.
Right.
And the broader implications of AI in the realm of psychometrics.
Looking forward to it.
I don't know about you, but it feels like we're on the edge of something really big here.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's like this combination of AI and psychometrics. It's just...
Yeah, it's like a perfect storm almost.
Yeah.
You get these two powerful forces coming together.
Yeah, and it's hard to predict how it's all going to play out, you know?
It really is, yeah.
But I guess that's what makes it so exciting.
It's what makes it so fascinating to watch.
But we've got to remember, like, we've been talking about, it's not just about the potential benefits.
Yeah.
There are risks.
Definitely.
Especially when you're dealing with something as personal as, you know...
As our personalities.
Yeah, like our personalities, our psychological profiles.
Yeah, our inner selves almost.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And it's interesting because Deng himself, he's really careful to emphasize responsible use.
Right.
He sees this technology as a tool.
Okay.
For empowerment, not exploitation.
Okay.
It's about helping people understand themselves better, not controlling them or manipulating them.
Right.
And I think his work with the student associations is a great example of that.
Yeah, he's actually putting it into practice.
He's putting it into practice. He's using these tools to help students deal with stress, you know, make career choices, make big decisions.
And ultimately thrive, you know, in this world that's just becoming increasingly...
And this crazy world.
Yeah.
It's a crazy world out there.
And it's like, you know, he's not just talking about it, he's actually doing it.
He's walking the walk.
Yeah, it gives you hope, I think.
It does, yeah.
You know, it shows that it's possible to use these advancements for good.
To make the world a better place.
Yeah, to help people, not to harm them.
Absolutely.
And I think it also reminds us that we all have a role to play in this.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not just up to the experts.
Yeah, it's not just up to the developers or, you know.
The tech giants.
The tech giants, yeah.
We all have a responsibility here.
We all have a responsibility, yeah.
To shape the future of these technologies.
So what can we do?
What can we do?
Like, what are some practical steps that we can take?
Well, I think first and foremost, we need to educate ourselves.
Okay.
We need to understand how these systems work.
Right.
The more we know, the better decisions we can make.
Right. It's about being aware of what data we're sharing, how it's being used, and what the potential implications might be.
Right, because there are always potential downsides.
Yeah, always.
You have to be aware of those.
And we need to be asking questions, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Like challenging assumptions.
Don't just take things at face value.
Yeah, holding companies accountable.
Holding their feet to the fire.
Yeah, for how they're using our data.
Yeah, transparency is key.
Transparency, yeah.
Accountability is key.
It's about, you know, being active participants.
Yeah.
Not just passive consumers.
Exactly. We need to be in the driver's seat.
And that leads to another important point, I think, which is advocating for, you know, strong regulations.
Strong regulations, ethical guidelines.
Ethical guidelines.
We need safeguards in place.
Right.
To protect people.
Yeah, to protect people from potential harm.
Absolutely.
So it's really like a multi-pronged approach.
Yeah, it's a multifaceted challenge.
Education.
Awareness.
And advocacy.
Advocacy.
And holding those in power accountable.
Holding people accountable, yeah.
It's a journey, right?
It's definitely a journey.
Not a destination.
Yeah, it's an ongoing process.
And I think Deng's work is like a really great example.
A roadmap.
Yeah, of how we can navigate that journey with, you know, with both optimism.
Optimism, yeah.
And a healthy dose of caution.
Healthy dose of caution.
Right, because we have to be excited about the possibilities, but we also have to be aware of the risks.
Absolutely.
And he's not afraid to embrace the potential of this technology.
No, he sees the potential.
But he's also mindful of the risks.
He's a realist.
Yeah, he's a realist.
He's a pragmatist.
Yeah, and he's advocating for that human-centered approach.
Always putting people first.
Yes, prioritizing well-being.
Well-being, empowerment.
And empowerment.
Yeah, giving people the tools to take control of their own lives.
It's inspiring, isn't it?
It is inspiring. It's hopeful.
Like, it shows that we can, we can harness the power of these advancements.
Yeah.
But still hold on to, like,
our values.
Our humanity.
Our humanity, yeah.
We don't have to lose ourselves in the process.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I think this has been a really fascinating deep dive.
It has been, yeah.
It's given us a lot to think about.
A lot to chew on.
A lot to chew on, yeah.
Yeah. The world of AI and psychometrics, it's complex. It's evolving rapidly.
It's changing every day.
But ultimately, it's up to us.
It's up to us.
To shape its future.
We have the power.
You have the power.
To decide how these technologies are used.
Yeah, and what kind of world we want to create with them.
That's a big responsibility.
It is a big responsibility.
But it's an exciting one.
It's an exciting one, yeah.
We're at a crossroads.
We are.
And we get to choose which path we want to take.
So as we wrap up here,
okay,
I just want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
Deng believes that everyone has unique talents and potential.
Everyone has something special to offer.
Right. So what if these technologies, used responsibly, could help us discover and nurture those talents?
Unlock that.
In ways that we never even thought possible before.
What if we could create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive?
That's a future worth striving for.
Yeah, that's a future I want to be a part of.
Me too. Like